Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty Podcast, where we got all your fantasy football wants and needs. I got the Craft Man with me as usual. What up?
What's going on, man? We got a good episode today. Them tight ends are over with.
Yep.
They in the past now. We ain't got to talk about them no more.
Yeah, today we're going to talk a little bust, our little all bust list. I know we got a couple of them. Might give out a whole little shebang, about 30 of these busts. I got plenty of busts to go around, but I'll give you 2 or 3, I guess.
These are the best shows because we're a hate-filled show.
Yeah, man.
We just love to talk shit on people more than praise. So we're gonna love talking about this one.
Oh yeah, this definitely ain't the footballers, man. We're not here to be nice to y'all.
Exactly. Man, we got my man Levi Barksdale in the building. What's popping?
Nothing much, man. I'm in here and y'all are way more advanced than this than me. I'm just here to give my opinion, man, and if it's wrong, I don't care.
That's sounds good to me, man. Got a podcast about to drop here soon, right?
I do. Red zones and warning tracks, man. Me and my buddy David, we're gonna kind of cover a little bit of everything, man, like college football, NFL, and MLB, man. We're getting started a little late with it, but we'll still get to cover the postseason of baseball. But
Yep.
but we're getting started right at the beginning of football season. So after we get the first one up, man, y'all come check it out. It's gonna be on all the major streaming platforms. We're gonna stream to TikTok. We're gonna stream to Facebook. Like live stream all that.
Yeah.
Everything will be there on the Spotify and Apple Music.
Sounds like y'all got it going on over there. I'm gonna definitely check that shit out.
Yes, sir.
Man,
You forgot to mention your Twitter handle. I feel like all professionals have a Twitter handle.
Yeah, drop your Twitter, man. Where can we find your ass?
Who, me?
Oh, you talking about me or Levi?
No, I know you got a Twitter handle. I'm talking about Levi.
I downloaded Twitter one time, dude, and I couldn't figure out how to use it.
Man, yeah, I had to force myself to get on there, but yeah, here we are. We here, but yeah, man, add the podcast, add me on Twitter. We talking busts. Craft, go ahead and give us your first bust of the 2022 year, 23, whatever year we're going into.
I'm going to do the most obvious one first, but I was looking up ADPs, and I felt like I had to do it because people are still drafting this guy way too early. So I'm going to go with Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are on Michael Thomas. Their offense is not that great. They're not the best passing offense. You got Jameis Winston back there, who is very up and down. But this man has not played football in 2 years.
Yeah.
So you got Chris Olave coming in. You got Jarvis Landry, who's a target hog, coming in, and then now you got Michael Thomas coming back off of ankle sprain that I've never heard of an ankle sprain last for 2 years. Have y'all?
Unless you're Christian McCaffrey.
Hey,
right.
That's like everything. That's like ankle, shoulder, knee, back.
Yeah.
Oh,
a high ankle sprain that lasted for 2 years. I heard he's already dealing with a hammy now, so that dude he ain't about to produce. I don't know what people are doing. I'm with you, man. I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't even want to put him on my bus. He's not even on my radar.
yeah, exactly. But his ADP is 47.
Whew.
I mean, no, I'm sorry. It's 67, which is still
ridiculous.
Sixth round. That's sixth round. You can get great receivers in the sixth round. I mean, you're talking about Marquise Brown, Allen Rock. Michael Thomas is going in front of Jerry Jeudy, Adam Thielen, Elijah Moore, Rashad Bateman, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I can just keep the list going. Allen Lazard. I mean, I would take all of them over Michael Thomas. So that's my first bust. there's not a whole bunch of statistics to go with it because there's no statistics that I have for 2 years because he hasn't played. He's 30 years old now. There's no way he's coming back and being the Michael Thomas of old. So
definitely not. He's definitely not on my radar. Levi, give us a bust.
Well, my obvious one is Darren Waller.
Yeah.
You got Devontae over there now, man. I mean, that's as simple as it can get. Devontae's going to take all of the man's work. The man only scored 2 touchdowns last year. And now given he only played 13 games last year, but he's going above Dalton Schultz, and Dalton Schultz scored 9 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, that right there is it's really unbelievable for him to be going ahead of Schultz. I was just talking about Waller. He hadn't even shown up in the preseason or anything. I think he's claiming he's dealing with a hamstring, but Cycraft's,
he's going 41st in ADP, but I mean that's 5th out of the tight ends, man, and that seems pretty high, man. I mean,
yeah,
to only put up 133 points last year in a PPR league, like I feel like he should be a lot lower than what he is. But if y'all want to draft him right there, don't be depressed when it don't go your way.
Right.
I feel the same way about that one because you're talking about last year and how terrible his stats were, and this was before Adams arrived.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean that's back when you had Henry Ruggs before he did what he did. So, and he wasn't Devontae Adams. So,
did y'all see Derwin James talking about Hunter Renfrow the other day, or hear that soundbite of him talking about Hunter Renfrow the other day?
Nah,
no, I didn't.
Derwin James, the safety for the Chargers, one of the best safeties in the league. They were asking him on a podcast who are the hardest receivers to cover, and he was just naming off. He was like Tyreek Hill and Hunter Renfrow. I mean, Renfrow is there. They're both like target hogs. So I definitely agree with that take with Darren Waller.
Yeah, man.
But Darren Waller's production has went down from the year before. He had 9 touchdowns in 2020, and then he drops to 2 last year. And like we've said like 5 times already, now you got Devontae there. So I'm thinking that I wouldn't be surprised if Darren Waller doesn't score any touchdowns this year.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, I should have put him on my bust list. I couldn't agree more. My bust, the first bust, my obvious one. I've been bitching about this dude for a whole year now, it seems like, and that's Cam Akers. This dude shouldn't even be nowhere. He ain't nowhere near my radar. I'll let him drop all the way to the double-digit rounds. I don't care. Cam Akers coming off an Achilles. He was terrible at the end of last year. His ADP is... I don't even know what his ADP is. His ADP is like 19.8. I don't even know if that's right.
I got you. You just keep on going.
Yeah. Cam Akers, from what I'm hearing, he's going to be in a 50-50 split with Darrell Henderson. If I was, doing a draft, I'll take Henderson way later on than Cam Akers. I seen Cam Akers in a best ball draft I was just in go at the end of the 3rd round, and I was beside myself. I couldn't believe that I had seen that, but Cam Akers, been a bum since college, never been that good. Don't know where the hype came from. I don't even know where this hype came from. The media just be picking and choosing folks they want to hate on and love on. Cam Akers gets the love for some reason. What you think about that, Kraft?
Well, Cam Akers going at number 38 right now, ADP 38. So that's right after Travis Etienne, 37. Which is obvious pick for me. Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell, A.J. Dillon. Cam Akers is one of those that I would take a shot on in my draft, but definitely not there. It would have to be 6th round before I draft Cam Akers.
Would you rather have Cam Akers or Antonio Gibson right now?
Gibson right now. he sent his squad out on his teammates, so
Yeah, put
I
a head
agree.
out on
I
him.
agree with Austin on that one, man, for sure.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't want neither one of them.
I think Cam Akers is getting all the hype because he put Buda Baker in the hospital last year.
I said the same thing like
I
a
know, man.
couple episodes ago, and
That
like it's
that's
just
about all he did right there. Just do Buda Baker wrong, and then next thing you
Buda
know, he's
Baker's like as big as me though out there.
Yeah, that'd be like me hitting Austin.
Oh man, that's enough of me about talk about Cam Akers. This is the last time I bring him up until he does something in a game. So, Kraft, man, yeah, what's that? Give me another buzz.
My bust is Deontay Johnson for
Man, you
Pittsburgh.
hating?
You don't like him either. I seen we done our wide receiver rankings. We'd both done it, and he was way lower than the
Yeah,
consensus on
I'm
these
with
busts.
you.
He's going as wide receiver 15 right now, over Jalen Waddle, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton. Don't do that. Deontay Johnson was a product of Big Ben last year. He had 169 targets, which is the same as Devontae Adams had last year.
Yeah,
He's not a big play guy. George Pickens is coming in, and at the start of the year, I wasn't that high on him, but he's looked great in the preseason, and I feel like these quarterbacks are going to throw the ball down the field more. And he also had 8 touchdowns last year. I don't see that repeating either. So if you take 40 targets away from the man and take 3 touchdowns away, there's no way he will return value for you when you pick him right there. I'm not saying that as a bust that he's going to do absolutely nothing, but I would take him more in like the Elijah Moore range than where he's going right now, or Brandon Ayuk. I do not see Deontay Johnson even coming close to repeating what he did last year, because Big Ben was terrible and couldn't throw the ball past 10 yards. So
yep, I couldn't agree more. Old Big Ben used to just say "hut" and just throw it over to the left where Deontay was.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm with you. I think Kenny Pickett, who I think he'll be starting eventually, he's going to sling it down the field before he starts checking it down 180 times to Deontay Johnson.
well, we're gonna get a lot of Steelers hate on this episode today, because I already know what Levi's next sleeper is. So
Yep, go for it.
Hey, he's not a sleeper, bro. He's a bust.
oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. He's sleeping on your bench on your team.
I was only like, I got the note. They told me, to put this together. Like, I was on short notice, so I only did 2. But my big one is Najee Harris. I'm kind of just piggybacking off what they were just saying about Big Ben. A fun fact to solidify my argument here: Big Ben had 1 pass last year at 59 yards. That was his longest pass of the season, 1 time. His second longest pass was 50 yards. You got people in there now that are gonna, whichever one winds up with the starting job, is gonna sling the rock, dude. Big Ben, he had arthritis in both shoulders and his knees, it looked like. So he wasn't putting it downfield, man. And like Najee's so touch dependent, man. Let's see. Najee had, 307 attempts last year for 1,200 yards. To put that in perspective, Jonathan Taylor had 332 for 1,800 yards. Like the man ran for 600 plus more yards with 25 more attempts. Najee is just, it's just not going to do it, man. And like you said, you don't have to check down to him to like throw him the little screen to the running back. You don't have to depend on him because your quarterback's arms aren't falling off his body. So yeah. I don't think since he's so touch dependent, I don't think that he's going to get the touches that he needs to be going in the 7th spot, man. I think he's way high.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I couldn't agree more with that take right there. On top of that, news reports have come out. Najee Harris dealing with a little Liz Frank sprain or something. That's what Travis Etienne had last year. Except I think his foot broke, but dealing with some injuries behind a bad O line.
And also, I mean, you got a lot of talent with the wide receivers now that you got a quarterback. You got Pickens, you got Claypool, you got the Muth. I mean, the Muth might get loose. You don't know.
I'm with you on that. Kraft, you got anything to say about old Najee?
I agree totally with Najee. I'd never drafted him because I thought that there's a chance he could be solid. But if you really want to put it in perspective and say, all right, the Steelers are a bad offense, probably going to be in the bottom half of the league. He's not going to be as touch dependent as last year, especially in the passing game. I mean, you could almost look at him as like a David Montgomery at this point. Whereas might be a bad offense, might be touch dependent. Like he could finish very low. He's at 7, but I would not be surprised if he finished the year at like 17.
I mean, to be real, man, I weigh 300, man, and run probably a 9.540. If you gave me 307 attempts, I think I could at least hit 900 yards, bro, in a season. I'm just saying.
Not behind that O line, you can't.
I don't know, man. That dude's probably like 200 and probably runs like a 4.5, and he's gonna rush for 300 more yards than my fat ass. Come on, dude. You got to do better, Najee.
I'm with you. I like that bus pick. I've been kind of fading Najee. My next pick is DK Metcalf. And
Jesus.
My good Lord. I mean, I've been, dissing on DK Metcalf for a while now. His situation is just awful, man. You got Russell Wilson going now. I heard Geno Smith just won the quarterback battle. I mean, when you go from Russell Wilson to Geno and Drew Lock, you're not gonna have a good year. I think people are starting to figure it out a little bit, and DK is starting to drop a little bit on ADPs, maybe just a little bit, but I wouldn't take him. Would you?
No, I would definitely not take him.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that DK is a good dynasty pick?
Man, I think he probably is a good dynasty pick, but let's just say best case scenario, he's going to be this. Seattle's bad this year. They go and get a rookie quarterback. We're looking at like 2 years at bare minimum of maybe fantasy irrelevancy. Maybe even longer than that. I mean, you got to hit on that quarterback in the draft too. If he's a bust, I mean, DK could be done for.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's right. The reason I asked is because I took him like second round in my dynasty.
It wasn't second. You can give yourself more credit than that. It was like fourth.
Yeah,
I'll put it like this. I'm higher on DK in dynasty than I would be because the age and the talent is theirs. You definitely got to bet on age and talent at some point. So, and you never know if they get a quarterback in, then you're gonna be looking like a genius. Redraft this year, I wouldn't be touching DK.
Oh, not a chance. Not a chance in hell.
The thing with DK though is everybody says talent, and yeah, he's a freak of nature. But as far as a wide receiver goes and route running ability, I don't feel like he's even in. He's not even like the top 30 receivers to me in like route running. He runs the 9 route and just flies down the field and opens the field up. Like I think he's good at that one thing. But and Russell Wilson was the best deep ball thrower in the league, so they matched up perfectly. But you put DK there with these underneath throwers who don't like to take chances. What are you going to get out of him? Except for maybe some touchdowns every now and again.
Yeah.
You'll get an ejection about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, let's just start throwing out some bust candidates for us, and we'll wrap this. Who you got, Kraft?
Man, my big one this year is Saquon, and this one's like totally opposite than all the other podcasts and all the experts that I listen to because they say he's a boom candidate.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing Saquon. I'm done with him. He was not injured. He got injured last year. He was out from weeks 5 through 11. He had. I'm gonna rattle off his points in these last few weeks. He was fully healthy at this time. Week 15, 15 carries for 50 yards and 8 targets. He had 15 carries and 8 targets and scored 5 fantasy points. The next week, 15 carries, 2 fantasy points. Next week, 21 carries, 10 fantasy points. The next week, 11 carries, 4 fantasy points. This was like all year last year when he was healthy. And people are saying he's a very I feel the same about him as I do DK. They're very physically gifted, but I'm just done with Saquon. I've seen him run. He dances around the line too much. He's got all the talent, but I said it in a previous episode. If he could just grab the ball and just go, just hit the hole, grab about 4 or 5 yards of carry, he'd be good. But I think I just don't think he's a good running back anymore. And it's so hard to say he's going to be a bust because of the opportunity he's going to get. But looking back at his stats last year, he did get the opportunity when he was out there and didn't perform. And he's getting drafted at the start of the second round. Just give me Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I'll say this: I've definitely been kind of buying into what these experts been saying. I'm a little higher on Saquon, but when I say a little higher on Saquon, I still had him at like 14 in my running back rankings. But yeah, I'm with you. Saquon, I hadn't really ever been high on him. I mean, most of his production in that rookie year came because Eli Manning was just checking it down 400 times. So
he had 162 attempts last year. I mean, he had an opportunity. 3.7 yards a carry. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Who y'all taking? Y'all taking Najee or Saquon?
Najee.
Yeah, I'm taking Najee at that point. What about you?
I'm not taking Najee.
Dang, rolling.
I think that the opportunity is more there for Saquon than it is for Najee, man.
Yeah, that's
just my opinion. I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree that Saquon's going to be a bust, but if I'm going to take one and hope they're less of a bust, I'm going to take Saquon.
Yeah, I'm with you. Another bust guy I got is old Terry McLaurin. I really wasn't that high on him last year, but this year with old Carson Wentz, he might catch a deep ball every now and then. They got a lot of weapons in Washington. Carson Wentz is there. He plays good every now and then, but I seen he was struggling in preseason and stuff like that. Sam Howell probably going to take the job from him. I'm just kidding about that. I don't really know what's going to happen, but Terry McLaurin, another bust candidate for me.
Dude, if Carson Wentz was standing in the kitchen and his wife needed the remote in the living room, he would break the TV trying to throw it. Or fumble it.
You're being hard on Carson, man.
Hey, this man's accuracy is just like, I don't know, like a blind man trying to toss you something and you hadn't spoke to him all day.
Didn't Carson Wentz make the playoffs though?
No. He has what you would call half of a Super Bowl ring. Him and Nick, what's his name? Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles. They cut it in half and then they share it.
Hey, that's still more than the whole Cowboys organization's had in the past like 35 years.
Right. Carson Wentz got him a little participation Super Bowl ring. He had a good year that year, but he got hurt.
Yeah, he had one good year, but yeah, he's dang, are we busting McLaurin or busting Carson Wentz right now?
Yeah, I mean I'll put it like this: McLaurin's got some talent, but he just signed a 3-year deal with Washington. Like you're gonna be busting for the next few years.
I would have never signed with that team. I'd have never signed with that team.
Never. That was crazy.
People get shot over there.
Exactly.
I don't know. It was so weird with McLaurin because I felt like the previous years he was always kind of like one of them underrated receivers nobody really knew about that watched football a lot. And now he's like almost a household name and he's getting overdrafted. Like I don't know where this came from. So I agree with you on that. that McLaurin take. I can't pick him. He finished like my internet don't work real good right now, but like he was in the 20s last year. I know that. And he didn't feel like it. He's just so boom or bust. He'll get you absolutely nothing sometimes.
Well, shoot, man. Let's wrap this thing on up. If you just throw out any names off the top of your head. You got any at the top of your head? We'll just wrap it on up. We won't go into detail. I got one for you, Joe Burrow. I think he might not perform up to his ADP. Teams that lose in the Super Bowl they don't even make the playoffs the next year. Slow offense. Any problem with that?
I can see it. I could definitely see it. I got Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. I got a guy, my guy Dunk told me Zeke Elliott has top 5 upside. Do you believe that's even remotely true?
I'll let Levi answer this one.
Absolutely not.
I'm with you on that. There is absolutely no way he is. They need to give Tony Pollard the ball more. Yeah. They got to do it this year. I'm not one of them guys that's like Tony Pollard is a workhorse because he's not built like that. But just make it the Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon thing. Tony Pollard be Aaron Jones, Ezekiel Elliott be A.J. Dillon.
And you like saying that he's got top 5 upside, bro. Like, look at the top 5 running backs, dude. He's not gonna outrush them. What?
Couldn't agree more. Well, shoot, man, that about wraps up this bust episode of the podcast. Crap, man, you got anything to say to our millions and millions of followers?
Don't draft these losers that we talked about today. Go get you some winners. Some wieners.
Man, Levi, I know we talked about it at the beginning, but just real quick, where can we find you? Podcast starts this week.
Yeah, it should be out Friday as long as everything stays on track. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music. It's Red Zones and Warning Tracks is the name, and we're gonna stream. Like I said, we try to do a little live stream to either TikTok or Facebook, maybe both, depending on how that goes. If the Wi-Fi can support it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I really appreciate you letting me be on, dude, and I'm glad to see your show's starting to take off, man. I try to listen every time Austin tells me one's dropped.
Yeah, we just doing what we doing over here. But yeah, we'll be checking out the podcast. I'll be hopping on that podcast.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, we're just gonna invite ourselves over.
Yeah, we just gonna show up. I'm just gonna pop up on the screen one day, just start talking some baseball.
Hey, maybe when we get it taken off, get it off the ground, man. Maybe we can do a little matchup episode. Have like a 4-man thing going on.
Hey, I hear you. I love it, man. So, yeah, man, add the podcast, the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Check out other projects that we're doing within the company. Add me on Twitter at CrewMattHamm. But that about wraps it on up. We out.
Peace.
Peace.